Hey, I'm Shay, and what I have is my personal knowledge and opinion. Only law is the universal law, the laws of the universe. And for some people, they may not know what I mean by the universal laws and the laws of the universe. I feel like there's just a basic understanding that most human beings, most people with a soul have, and they understand basic principles of the land, the space that they're in, the energy fields that they come in contact with and reside in naturally, and so forth and so on. You get it, you get it, you got it, you got it. I just want to say good day. A little bit late, not even a little bit. It's like almost 9 o'clock. I'm behind on posting. I know y'all didn't get a video yesterday just because I'm working some things out. I'm trying some new things, and I'm just, again, working things out. So I've been listening to a few different things in general, and I wanted to just talk about some things just because I found it interesting, and also because there's some things that I have also just thought about and considered. If you see my hands, these hands have been doing some work, okay? So, yeah. But I just want to know how y'all feel. There's a lot of information going around on the internet, and a lot of people say certain things on the internet that they don't mean in real life in quite a few cases. So I'm just wanting to know again, how do you all feel? So get in the comment section, open your ears up, let's get into it. If I did not say, hey, I'm Shay. Just wanted to say it again. This is something I want to say I'm thankful to have just a space to be me, have certain conversations, just because somebody's passing by. Okay. To have certain conversations just because I'm wondering. And I just had to look. Okay. So just certain conversations because I'm just interested in knowing, right? So much in the world is going on, like so many different changes every day. And I also had a person that I spoke with today that just was like dropping stuff left and right, and it just really let you know the state of the world times 10, right? It's one thing, when you have family members that's dealing with certain things, or you're like in close proximity with certain things that occur in the world. But just to hear some things and how people are living, man, just to what extent things are happening, like it really make you, one, grateful, and two, wanting to continue to push to get people to come together so more can be done on a realistic level. And also to kind of chop down a lot of the fear that we have of doing the thing that we know is beneficial to us all, in the long run. Not just out of your own thought process, just from greed or just because you want to be able to do what you want to be able to do. I'm talking about like the basic necessities that humans, that those are living with souls should have. Food, water, like opportunities to actually have food that's actually beneficial to you and not things that are genetically modified. You know what I mean? To have clean water, like actual clean water, and to just not have so many things that are being put against us in a time where we should actually be so much further in this direction instead of this direction. It's like here people are going up, but it's like here is kind of chaotic at times, and it's not even just you and your own energy that's off, like just your immediate environment. Like it's global, and a frequency, the energy, the frequencies, like it's a real thing. And when the energies are off around the world, you feel it, right? You don't know what's going on, but then you start to get in different spaces and places, and you realize, okay, this is a collective energy. This is a collective thing. It's not just me tripping. Like, this is a collective thing. And when so many things are again put in place against the collective and only benefiting a small group of individuals and out of this big world, like, that's beyond me. That's just crazy. So in this world and in this climate and understanding all of these different things, and honestly not knowing where this whole thing is headed, where are we actually going to be in the next 10 to 15 years, right? Is it even going to be another 10 to 15 years that we're going to be able to exist like this, at least in this form? So I just want to know about kids because it's so wild. So quite a few women, I don't know about men because I really haven't heard that. So far what I have been hearing, men still want kids and still want to build and have this idea of a legacy, but to at whose expense and to whose benefit, you know what I mean? So I'm just wondering, like, and I don't even want to put it like, is it worth it to still have kids? But what I want to say is, like, what does that mean for your said legacy at, at this rate? When your kid is 15, is this world still even going to be a space where they can actually thrive in this form? Like, they might have some good up here, but like, what does that look like with the way that they are trying to put things in place? Certain projects, right? Projects, certain things that they are putting in motion and attempting to put in motion, and a lot of things that's being blocked. I understand that, most definitely. And I guess for some it's going to be a situation where it's like, don't lose the hope, don't lose the faith, and just stay focused on the positive. But we also have to be in the base reality that we live in, and you have to be honest about what's going on around you, because it's been too long that we turn a blind eye and just keep feeding what has been hurting us. And you start to look at it in a different way when you start to look at what's been going on around you. You understand that has it really been about you? And you having this life that you desire, and you having this future, and you having these kids, this family, even down to the point of buying land and owning things and having things, right? What does that look like? That's what I want to know. Like, what does that look like? My hoodie is like half on, half off, but I was just like, what does that look like? You know, I don't know. And of course, you still have people wanting to, like, family members and friends and things like that, one wanting to have that life for themselves, but also wanting to see you join in on that type of life. But again, what does that look like? We don't know the future. Just do whatever you want to do. You only live once, and that's cool. But are we gonna address the current issue instead of just continuously bringing kids into this thing? Because you can't shelter them, right? How do you know you don't, right? If they are going to become a part of that, you can try your best, but like, how do you not know that their kid might be the next school, you know what I'm saying? And then even right now, like, who knows it's just a lot, right, of current problems that aren't being resolved with the people that's already here. And we are really cycling this thing through, right? And if you don't heal the current generation, help with the process of healing the current generation, then when the next generation come, is there more trauma that you just keep passing on because no one's healing? Like, you think back to generations of your family, did they get better? What aspects got better? Did they get worse? Like, what's happening? Because it's people, the main people that are here producing these kids are continuously, and not all, of course, so I'm not going to say the main, but a good portion of the people who are continuously generating all of these children are creating broken homes. They are creating all of these things, right? And you got these couple people, right? So yeah, if we do, the people out here who's not trying to create that environment, okay, cool, you have kids, you do that, right? This happens. But then you know so many people who have been in good spaces and messed around with some people who wasn't healed, and that took them down through that, right? Oh, you survived, you cool. But again, how long are we going to keep being in cycles to where we keep feeding the narratives, right? And it comes from what we have been taught. So again, the root cause, it goes to what you've been taught, how you were raised. And then if you don't venture off from that, if you don't see the damage in it, then you don't change. Or you're not changing until and it's never too late, true, but again, all of the damage, yeah, we're not seeing too many people setting their kids up. At least I know in this space, like, we're not seeing people set their kids up for a better future. Funny enough, I just had this conversation where my mama was talking about it, and just now thinking about it, that's adding to. You're not setting your kids up for, like, for a future. Not even just your kids, like people in your environment. You know what I mean? Like, we were just having a conversation about just relationships in general with people nowadays. It's just like, you're not setting your kids up, you're not setting your friends up to be better. Like, people are not helping each other. You know, like, y'all are friends, but y'all are not able to be honest with your friends and have certain conversations and go through certain things. And is that really a friendship? Is that really a relationship? What is that? So it makes you really rethink all of the above, right? Does the standard, does the norm work anymore? And what elements should be altered, right? And then I know it's another thing when it comes to religion and beliefs, and I believe in, okay, do what works for you. But at the same time, can we be open enough to have different conversations with different people and understand different perspectives, and not feel like it's just you being swayed into being a certain way or doing a certain thing, but just simply opening your ears and opening your mind to consider certain thought processes. Like, I watch Jubilee, right? Middle Ground, and I love to listen to the conversations just to hear different people's perspective on both sides, because to me, nothing is as black and white as people try to make it. Like, there is a gray area, you know? The gray area does exist. But in the end, I feel there's a percentile on each side of the black and the white, creating the gray, you know? So I think I really want to know, what does a future look like in the next 10 years? Right? Based on your thought process, just because, so just to think how much and how fast things are moving now. A person I was talking to today, she was just talking about coming out into the world when you've been in for so long. Like, if you don't get out and you don't venture out and you don't do things, and even people who incarcerated, like, you get out of jail and it's not even like a 10-year period where, oh, when I went in we had this big phone, now we come out we got this little flip phone or whatever, right? It's now going from when I come out, when I was, out, the whole system of the world was this way, right? And now I come out and bills have been passed that's taken us from one spectrum way to a whole other spectrum. So it's it's really interesting. It's really interesting where we are headed. And on one aspect, you can say that we don't know, but on the other hand, you can kind of say we sure can have a lot to do with the end result. We could. Question is, are we going to? Are we going to have any type of effect on our current, right? And then see the effects later on from what we have been doing, what we did, what was done, and not what was done to us and for us. Because at this point, we can't really lie like we just blinded, right? You have access to so much information. True, the validity of the information, questionable, right? AI is wilding. People using AI to make these fake videos of these different people, putting certain people's face on other people's body, and like it's looking like they actually doing what they're not doing. Again, what does that mean? Is it even important anymore to teach your kids this thing compared to this thing? How much does it change parenting? How much has it changed social settings? How much has it changed relationships? How much has it changed the full dynamic of our existence, our health? Like, now health is such a conversation that's like being into people's head. And then you have your challenges and you have your habits and your conditioning and your stubbornness, right? And some people still see this all as just a thing that's just happening around them. And they take little responsibility in making things happen. And I think it has been created that way. People focus are still things that really don't matter. And that's a problem. And I don't want to just have a kid to be having a kid just to satisfy the norm or satisfy the standard as a woman, right? Like, if I always pictured if I'm having a kid, I want to actually have a real life what I'm envisioning is a life that's deserving, right? That all humans deserve. A basic right for anybody with a soul to be able to have. And at this point, a lot of those basic rights and the basics, it's not it. You have to do research on water, on where you like you have to do research on almost everything that you're doing and consuming and at this point. Yeah, of course, if you've been doing what you're doing and you're not conscious of that and you're not worried about that, then you're gonna keep doing what you're doing. But I'm talking about the people who are actually wanting to get better and change and want a better life. Like the way you go about this is even more intense, right? Financially, what that looks like, the banking, like all of the normal things that have changed and evolved in the world in general. It's like now times 10, right? It's now times 10 because it's like the walls are closing in. And if you know, you know. So I'm just interested in knowing what you all think in terms of where we're headed as a people and how much we are going to continue to allow, how much of our energy are we going to keep put into certain content, to certain people who are not helping us evolve and are keeping us stuck and keep feeding a certain lifestyle that is BS and that has kept a lot of people down for a long time. And it's people, elderly people out here who's sick and they're not getting the care that they need. They don't have family members that's able to stand up for them. It's like, what happened to all of that? You know? So, yeah, family dynamics are not the same. Some have been, have had tower moments, but they never recovered. Some people just so on where it's just me. They don't even desire to really have a relationship with their people anymore. And for me, in some aspects, I feel that way because it's like, if you're not changing, what are we doing? And then in some other aspects, it's like, well, that's family. And of course, I know that alone is not it. But what I mean is like, that's family that's closer to you. You all 9 times out of 10 have history. And with history, you have things to build on. So, yes, it's an interesting place. But one thing you always do is make sure you protect your energy. So, I mean, that just is what it is at that point. Because, I mean, if they're not, again, beneficial, if they're not changing, if they have not changed, if they have not evolved, then it's really nothing there. They're not going to help the cause. So, they're not like-minded, they're not going to help the cause. So, hey, it is what it is. But I'm about just really wanting to help and wanting us to help us. Okay? Everybody to put in the work. Let's build, right? But that's my little rundown for today. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you feel, what you're thinking, what's going on in your mind. And that's about it. It's that simple today. It's that simple. I might do this little setup again. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. It depends on timing, like how long it's gonna take to save. But this do give me more time to have my laptop throughout the day to do what I need to do. I'll get a PC one day, like a gaming PC, so I can do my thug thizzle. Now, like, so I can really, really get it in with everything that I want to do, right and be able to do it at one time. But until then, I make it what works work. But y'all have a good one. Continue to be easy. Like I said, unless you gotta step on something, then step on what you need to step on. Other than that, keep it easy. Keep it easy. Love